I can show that. If they have a certain company that they're with, I can show the logo or not show the company logo. And then if I have a date that they did it, I can put the date that they left the testimonial, or I can remove it and just show it. If I want to build the stars or remove the stars, I can put them right here. So I go in like this and I turn off the logos, I turn off the dates, and I leave the stars in here. The next thing that I do is I go to the person's name and I click on, and then I update the content that I have. Now, if you have a real testimonial right here, you can add the verbatim testimonial that you're allowed to share. If you don't have a testimonial, what you can do is project what a testimonial would say for a person getting a product like this, right? And what do I mean by projection? Okay. So let's say that you've got three really, really big pain points that you're always having to overcome, right? And you want each testimonial to identify those objections and overcome that objection in that testimonial. And the way that you do it is the process was so fast. I was approved within minutes. Okay. So if it is like a nuance of like you think it's too problematic or whatever, then you can just explain how quick, how simple it was. Uh, I didn't even finish my cup of coffee before I got funding, before I got, you know, my policy. So that would be it. And then depending on what the person's name is, happy grandmother, right? If you don't, if you don't want to like put a title, you can summarize what type of person that is in there, right? And you can say, um, Sarah Marshall. If anybody knows that reference, good on you. So, you can put that in there and just like you can detail what type of customer they are, right? And then you can do this for each and every one of your names, right? You hit done and then you move to the second one, right? I needed at least 15K, but got approved for 40K and kept it within my fixed budget. Okay. So you're trying to overcome these different objections, right? On social security, right? So you put the name in here and you put the social in here. Now, if you have your images that you want, you can put the images. And again, if you don't want to take the time to put the images in there, just remove the profile. I'll say that generally, if it's authentic, it's real, and it's an image of them making eye contact with the user, it actually does gain a little bit more trust to do it, and it's worth it to get a real profile picture. But if you can't and you just want to do something without it, then you just simply come down here and hit remove and you can toggle back and forth. I love this feature. I can't explain how much I love this new testimonial element because it's very, very powerful and very well done to come in here and fix all this. And then you just hit done and you go to your final person and you know, I had been denied coverage in the past, but there, yeah, their guaranteed approval worked for me without any medical exams or questions. Okay. And so like you're when you're building it like this, you're building it in a way that it answers a case study, it answers a social proof, and they can identify themselves in there. Now, this isn't necessarily like your exact reviews where it's a real person that gave you a real review. This is a case study social proof section that feels like it's a testimonial, right? So you're not misleading people by claiming that it's a review that you didn't get. You're putting a testimonial in there that makes them identify and see themselves within the testimonial or within the case study, right? And it's just the case study looks like a review format, but it's still a case study, right? I think that's what's so amazingly powerful for building out this type of section. And then once again, um, call me today to get these results. All right. And so your call to action is very consistent and your case studies are like this. Now, what's really, really cool is you can come down here and you can tell it how many columns that you want on the top, and you can continue to add more testimonials. Like if you feel seven, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 testimonials are very, very strong, then you can do, as many as you want. I think to me, if I'm overcoming an objection and I know what my objections always are, and I know the case studies that can overcome the objection. I'm building one on to overcome each objection. And let's say that I have four objections that I always overcome, right? Um, how easy is it? Um, how much money does it cost me? Medical. And then let's say that my next testimonial really focuses on a different aspect, right? And so this caption would be if I'm, thinking about my budget, right? And now let's say that the next one down here is focused on a different problem that we have. Actually, she's focused on uh, health concerns.